I made a new friend. I knew a good gaming tablet existed, I just didn't know which one. So it all started with me browsing some options, and I was into the iPad mini because I was like, I want to have something on the go that I can edit videos on and do a bunch of things on, and not my 11-inch tablet. This is such a big problem, the pain that I'm going through. What's so special about this cutie? Let's talk about it. I've had this tablet for the past few months, and I'm gonna let you know if you need to get one, or if you're looking between the iPad mini and the Lenovo Legion, I'm gonna determine which one you should get. So by the end of the video, you're gonna be going ahead to purchasing whichever one it is that I tell you to get. And you can trust me on this because I've owned the iPad mini 7 briefly, and I've owned this one briefly as well. Let me tell you why this thing is actually great. I'm also going to tell you why this thing is not the greatest thing in the world. This is an 8.8-inch tablet that comes with the 165Hz LCD screen. It sucks that it's LCD, but honestly, it's a really good quality LCD. It kind of looks pretty good. Just don't expect to go outdoors with this because the brightness doesn't go too high up. And it comes in two colors, black and white. And then those two colors go into two configuration. 12 gigs of RAM with 256 gigs of space, or 16 gigs of RAM with 512 gigs of storage, which is exactly what I have right here. If you're getting the global version, only the first option is available, and you can actually get it straight from the Lenovo website. I got the Chinese version here, and I'll tell you what that means, don't worry. And it's the higher model, so I want to kind of get the most that I can from this. So real quick on the physical aspect of this, the shell actually doesn't go around the whole screen. The screen is actually lifted. As you can see, there is two speakers on the sides. There's the volume button, and then underneath is the home button, or the lock button, I should say. There are two Type-C ports, depending how you hold it, on the left side and then one at the bottom. This allows you to charge while listening to music, so that's a really cool feature. And speaking of Type-C ports, this thing supports fast charging 68 watts. It is definitely a gamer type of feel to this tablet. In fact, Legion is basically the gamer side of Lenovo, if that makes sense. The Legion Go, and they have a bunch of laptops that are very gaming specific. Almost forgot, it has two cameras, 13 megapixel camera. I think one of them is the ultra wide, and then one of them is just a regular. You're not buying this for the camera. I'll show you some samples, but you're definitely not getting this for the camera. Don't expect anything. Now, this is the highest settings on the front camera. Oh my god, there's dandruff in my hair. Let's talk about the inside of this thing. It is running Android. On top of the Android, it's actually running Lenovo's own skin. They called it ZUI. After updating to Android 15, it's now called ZUX. I just never really heard anybody mention this before, so that's why I'm just letting y'all know. This is going to support up to 3 major Android updates. I have the Chinese version, as I mentioned earlier, and I'll tell you what that means. When you get the Chinese version, which is straight from China, it's going to be full on in Chinese when you unbox it. But however, there are ways you can turn it to English. So first, you're going to delete all the extra apps that you don't need. They're all in Chinese. You can tell which is which. And then you're going to go ahead to their store and you're going to search up Google Play Store. I believe it's going to easily be recommended to you, because that's literally what everyone does. It's very common. Everybody's doing this. Just one thing to note, and I've never seen anybody mention this, but when you do that, it warns you that the Google Play Store services are going to actually take more of your battery life. Just have to put it out there. I've never heard anybody talk about this yet. After those 3 major updates, you just are left alone, I guess. You know, but it's good to know that you're going to at least have this for the next 3 to 4 years, probably. For a tablet, that's actually what to expect. If you do want to keep it for longer, it wouldn't hurt to install a custom ROM. I've done it before, so I know you can figure it out too. Does this deserve the hype that it's getting? Or maybe it's not getting. I feel like there's not enough hype on this, but there will be. The new generation just dropped. Hold tight for that. Obviously, this is a gaming tablet, so you're gonna buy it for gaming purposes. I bought it for gaming purposes, among other things. Rocking the Snapdragon 8 Generation 3, 16 gigs of RAM, 6,550 milliamps of battery. We're unstoppable here, right? Top it off with the fast charging. You can't go wrong. This thing can handle any game I throw at it. From the Google Store, and also with emulators, I never found any problems with emulators. There are some games like the PS2 games that are laggy, but I feel like that's a game specific issue. You can download any emulator on here practically. I even downloaded a Windows emulator, and there's a lot of tutorials online to do that, so I'm not going to show you how to do it. Honestly, I've kind of lost all progress because I updated to the Android 15, and obviously that just changes things. Speaking of emulators, you can actually also play games from a very famous brand of gaming handheld console. Once again, so many tutorials online. I'm sure you can find something. I've also played Genshin Impact for the first time on this tablet, and it was incredibly smooth. I automatically really liked this game, so we're going to be playing more of that. I know you can play it on your computer, but different vibe of playing on a little device like this. Plus, you can play it on the go. I have yet to try more games. I just am new to the Android gaming world, but there is definitely a lot to unpack here. But I will say this thing is going to handle everything with no problem. Also, this thing comes with a pencil. It's additional, so you have to buy it separately or spend more money to get a whole lot type of thing, but I wouldn't even recommend it. It's just not as precise as an iPad, and I haven't used it yet, but I've seen other people use it, and that's just the impression that I'm getting. It's just a regular pen on a tablet. So this thing packs a lot of good. You can play video games, you can watch TV shows, you can do anything. You can even use this as a PC. You can plug this into your monitor and it looks like a computer. It can handle all this multitasking, which is crazy. You can use your tablet and the screen together, but the tablet is still its own tablet. And even if you don't have a monitor, there is a thing called PC mode. I just find that so versatile and so cool to have. Is it needed? Maybe not for me, but for someone out there, probably. Let's talk about some of the downsides, and then I'll let you know if you should get this over the iPad mini, because once again, I've tried both. So there are a few downsides with this. Obviously, not everything is perfect. First of all, if you care about the screen, the OLED would have been a better option. Like I said, you can't really go out and use this tablet when it's really sunny. Your screen literally looks black when you do, so not recommended for outside use. It doesn't have a micro SD slot. Normally, when a company removes a micro SD slot, they don't bring it back. They brought it back in the next generation. Another thing is it's not the most compact. If you were used to iPad mini, this is going to be a little bit more heavy and more thick. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now, the biggest downside to me is definitely the software updates being just stuck to 3 years. I think it's time now where companies should do like at least 5 years, in my opinion, at the very least, possibly more. And the other thing is the Chinese ROM situation. It's just not everyone is going to be able to work with that properly. Also, when I updated my system to the Android 15 system, some of the apps returned to being Chinese. Even some random emulator app that I've downloaded, it's suddenly like out of nowhere in Chinese. That got fixed since then. It's just like not guaranteed. So stability is not promised when it comes to that. Some people who are into this stuff don't really mind going through the hassle. I personally don't mind it too much. It's a bit annoying in the moment, but once I solve it, it's worth it. So now let's answer the question, should you get an iPad mini 7 or even 6? Or should you get a Lenovo tablet? Shortest answer possible. If you're looking for productivity, stick to the iPad, especially if you have the whole Apple system. It's just gonna work way better. If you have iCloud, for example, all your files are gonna automatically be uploaded to your iPad. So that's definitely a plus. Also, editing videos is just smoother on the iPad mini. That's my experience. I've especially tried 4K video editing and it was very laggy on my tablet. That's not to say that it's impossible. It's just not as smooth. You also get a lot of applications on iOS first or only on iOS. If you want a tablet for entertainment, you could still get the iPad mini, but if you want something that gives you way more, easily access files that you want to put on your computer, you want to put some emulators on there, and also you want to multitask most importantly, then the Lenovo is definitely for you. You can also read on this thing, I forgot to mention. This thing packs a lot and you can really spend hours just playing around with the settings. That's a typical Android experience, so that's why I would prefer Android for the purpose of just having fun, just relaxing, playing games, reading comic books. It's just so much better on an Android device with the freedom. I hope this answers your question. I'm curious if you guys are interested in a tablet like this. If not, then what are you interested in? Which tablet or iPad do you have and what do you use it for? I personally have an iPad 11 Pro from 2021 and this tablet. Those are my two tablets and they all have their own purpose. I do my work and my drawing on my iPad. I do my chilling and my gaming on the tablet. I really can't go on without either, but I will say I'm leaning towards the Android tablet more and more every day. I just cannot let go of my Apple Pencil experience. I want to hear all your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this video and want me to make more content like this, please give me a thumbs up so I know, and subscribe so you watch more videos. I love her. She's so nice. I did customize her, by the way, here on TikTok. You should check it out. Thanks for watching.